Glad I caught you. Glad I got you there. Elon Musk. Oh, by the way, please don't watch this if you're not Elon Musk, okay? This is a one-off video that we're doing. This is private, personal. I put this in his email. I don't know how you got this, unless you're on the Asmongold Discord server, in which case you know my every move, okay? Me and Asmongold have been planning this for a while now. Moist Critical's involved. And yeah, I guess if you're on the Moist Critical Discord server, you would have access to this file. So kudos to you, hacker. I don't think Elon's gonna watch this.
That's us, boys.
Listen, I know as a comedian, first and foremost, I don't expect people to take me seriously, but it is a fact that shit posting and public opinion are now intermingled permanently, and it's not going anywhere.
This thing I hate. This shit is actually cringe. He's getting ready to share his real thoughts in a satirical way just to hide behind the it's a bit it's just a bit response.
That's the way it is.
Yeah. But okay, here's the thing though. I don't think you can complain about I just don't like Sam Hyde has a podcast where he is just himself and there is no irony. And like I don't know. I feel like everyone being like, it's bro, his real opinions, they're a fucking mystery. And then you just look up Sam Hyde podcast and then he's just like, these Jews, man, they're fucking it all up. And it's like, there's no meme, he's just saying it. So I don't know how he's managed to like ride this wave of being like, nobody knows what I'm doing, bro. It's like, what the fuck? Just go look at your podcast. Watches it and say it's a bit. He's wrong. Watch it for 2 fucking seconds. I mean, there's jokes in it, but watch it for 2 fucking seconds, bro. All he does is talk. It's just like a red pill podcast. He's like the progenitor, the like fresh and fit and shit.
How would you even get the news if you weren't looking at memes? You watch his show? That's even more fucking retarded. Will you turn that off? It's a smart thermostat, so it's going to take 15 minutes to figure out how that fucking thing works. It's very intuitive. I don't know why the Nest thermostat is taking you so long to learn and intuit. Okay, a toddler could figure this out. A toddler on an iPad could figure out how to use the Nest thermostat. That's Chris Lynch, by the way, Elon. Do not hire him, okay? He's leaving this job very soon. See, he's white. He's too lazy. Chris, you're so lazy and white. Well, yeah. You guys should have studied violin harder as kids.
Rip. Why are you showing me CartoonNetwork.com?
I swear to God, Vivek would have figured this out by now. I want to believe that Elon is one of the great men of our age, and that he has what it takes to become a 21st century Andrew Carnegie. I think it's important to have great men to look up to. Trump, Joe Rogan.
Because they ended it? Cartoon Network is not over. What the fuck are you talking about?
And it's not necessarily important that our great men are perfect, but there are symbols of what we could be. I think if Ron Paul took steroids, he would be my number one. That would be my number one guy. You agree? Yeah.
My number one guy.
I'd like to offer you an escape, an exit from this hole you've been digging. You are a beloved figure. Anytime you do anything remotely based, people lose it. Oh my God, he's big.
It just takes you to Max. Yo, gross.
He just said that.
They got rid of the website. You're right, liberals. Bro. What the fuck? CartoonNetwork.com just goes to fucking Max. Ew. Ew.
Aren't cool.
That's disgusting. What the fuck?
What does he say? Yeah, anytime you post an AI kitten in a MAGA hat, people lose their... He's based! He's fucking based, man. For the guy who's the free speech guy, and not only that, but the reasoning from first principles guy, the logical fallacy guy, the Reddit guy, good faith argue with everybody, you know, whatever. All that shit. Blanket banning groypers, taking away blue checks, changing the algorithm of the site. Because
bro, is this unironically gonna be like, I thought when Elon took over, it was gonna change. Turns out it's still just a left-wing hellhole. And then you go on Twitter and it's just like porn, racism, porn, gore, racism, cute puppy, some bot account spamming some right-wing shit. Like, it's all still the same shit, bro.
100
what the fuck?
Ratioed you. because there's fucking 50,000 posts. They're all organic, by the way. This is not some Russian bot farm. It's not some nefarious behind the scenes.
Bro got mad. Groypers got banned.
That's not what
this is just not a meme. I'm sorry, guys. Sam Hyde is racist. I'm sorry to say. He is funny, though. I will admit. He's a funny fucking guy.
You tapped into a moist critical, and we're back to moist critical. Mainline concern for the American people. And you treated it in a way that was glib and dismissive. You just became a Republican 3 months ago, and you're talking about removing a big portion of regular people.
Funny man out there. He is, look, he is hilarious. He's also clearly racist. Like, I'm sorry. Just go to his podcast.
People fucking love you. They will forgive you. Nobody is trying to get you to become turbo base pill, full Pat Buchanan immigration policy. People broadly understand that you are a San Francisco, tech, California, international immigrant. Well, if you want to be a regular tech guy, that's fine. You can do that. You can be Larry Ellison. You can go play on the boat. Nobody's going to give a fuck. Realize what you're fighting for. If you're going to be the tech king, if you've courted the MAGA base, you wanted these people on your side. They're ready to be on your side, but you have to fight not for Ben Shapiro's idea.
See, and then he like, I don't want to say dog whistle, but he like mentions Ben fucking Shapiro, and he's like, Groypers, they're getting banned. That's fucked up. Don't ban the Groypers. Don't listen to Ben Shapiro. Shabbat shalom.
The country of America. The notion of America as this collection of ideas. That's not what it is. It's Americans. That's who you have to fight for. If you're in America, doing business in America, you want to be the man in America, you have to fight for the American people. You're not fighting for a paragraph. You're not fighting for a set of ideas, man. It's the American people who need your help. That's fundamentally why I think people are pissed off here. And it's an easy fix. Just don't call them retards. Elon, have you met Chris? He's on Asmongold. He's streaming all the time. You should check him out. He's playing these games and stuff. He's amazing what the kid does with video games. I can't believe it. People didn't suddenly have a flare-up of India hate.
I disagree with this so hard. I think Indians are the one race where you can be openly racist and nobody cares. They're like they are the freebie people that you can fucking bully.
Monitoring the Indian hate.
Bro, stop Indian hate. Let's get this hashtag going, boys.
Websites for a while. It's actually set to my homepage. I've been checking these websites out. I watch what these people do. There were very few overt Indian haters spewing their nonsensical filth everywhere 72 hours ago. What happened?
Bro, but he's asking to not ban Groypers, and the leader of the Groypers, Nick Fuentes, has specifically said he doesn't want a country that looks like India, and he doesn't like Indians.
Okay,
this is wrong.
Hours ago.
Suddenly, this is just wrong. At least it's wrong if you are mentioning it in the context of fucking Groypers.
In the MAGA base, looked at Vivek Ramaswamy with some notion of admiration, or hey, that guy says cool stuff every once in a while. Hey, you know what? I think I like
Fireworks
that guy.
going off, or now, gunshots. Who knows?
He's got to be deported. Sucks, man.
I think he says
and he's not being deported because of the color of his skin. He's being deported for the content of his character. And I think that truly was a mask-off moment where we saw that Vivek Ramaswamy really is just a fucking nerd who needs to go back. I think that what you did is different. I think it's everybody spurgs out. I'm spurging out right now. I'm going to spurg out later, okay? On Chris Lynch. And also, Indians do cool stuff every once in a while. They got the chest slapping, wrestling. You guys watch that action movies. He's shooting a bullet out of the air with a gun. He's flipping over the tuk-tuk.
He is like clearly making fun of Indians right now in his not about hate for Indians.
Shoulder rehab, exercise, fantastic. The hate. It's irrational hate. Yeah. It's just racism. It's just a nonsensical racism. The hate and racism and anti-Indian sentiment, it's there to the extent that Indians are being used to replace white people.
I don't know if I like.
That's it.
Now we're talking about like bro, you're replacing a race.
Pretend we're not talking about exceptional Indians here.
Yes, you're talking about all Indians. Fuck up, bro.
spreading like wildfire. People sharing these H-1B lists of what the jobs are. You are not in Calcutta.
Replacement theory? Yes. Sam Hyde does support replacement theory. Again, it's in his podcast. He fucking talks about it. Also, if he's a groiper, then like obviously he's gonna be like, bro, why genocide? People keep nutting in a brown vagina, so you know the whites, we gotta band together out here.
Space and invent new computers. Let's get to India and get the next Nikola Tesla. That's not what's happening. We're talking about people at fucking gas stations. You bring them over, you put them in a fucking gas station, and then we'll go around all the gas stations in the USA and find the next genius. Well, what if he's not in India? What if he's working at a gas station in North Carolina? He might be there. We don't know. Why don't we bring everybody here and then we can look for everybody? That's actually a fucking genius idea. We bring fucking everybody here and then...
Who's complaining about working at... Nobody gives a fuck about working at a gas station. You can work at a gas station job. Like, you can work at Walmart or Target or some shit. Like, who fucking cares? These are not... Nobody wants to work these jobs. Everyone complains about jobs, and then you're like, go work at Target. They're like, I'm not doing that. That's cringe.
Like a needle in a haystack, we find the one man who can invent electrical computers.
Also, no Indian is being brought over to, like, work at a gas station. There's just, like, no... Like, if there's a dude with an Indian accent who's working at a gas station, he's, like, here he's probably here legally, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you. That's the other thing, is they want to get rid of people here, like, here legally.
That sounds fucking...
And, like, all H-1B visas are not taking, like, blue-collar jobs. What the fuck?
Retarded, and it's not true. You have to at least say...
We gotta deport all the Indians who work at gas stations, so that way... Poor people who work broke jobs can go switch into the other poor people jobs. It'll be kick ass.
That the H-1B program is being scammed. If you don't admit that, then as far as like any type of discussion that goes anywhere is concerned,
it's actually not. It's like so hard to get into the United States on an H-1B visa. It's so fucking hard. And we limit it based on country. Like we only let in like a couple. How many people do you let in? It's like based on country. And it's like India is the hardest one to get into because there's so many of them and some of them want to come here. Like that's just wrong. There is no scamming. The H-1B visa just sucks. Or like immigration shit just sucks.
It's over. This is a direct quote from Moist Critical himself. I'm speaking on his behalf. He was too busy streaming Marvel Rivals to talk to you. So I'm here on his behalf giving you opinions that he approved, okay? Nobody's expecting you to go full Steve Bannon here. You're a tech bro. We get it. Immigrant. But if you are on Team America, and by Team America, I don't mean Ben Shapiro's collection of ideas. America
keeps mentioning Ben Shapiro.
is not a collection of ideas. America is a people. Americans. If you are Team America, then the most prominent...
Telling Elon to not call MAGAs retard, not listen to people like Ben Shapiro, and that Indians are replacing us. I know, bro.
Immediate deportation of illegals and the end of the abuse of the American worker by programs like this H-1B, the gamification of stuff like this that's set up to benefit...
What does that even mean, gamification? You fill out, like... You fill out documentation to show like why you should be here. Like what the fuck is he talking about?
Us. Nobody wants to solve the Japanese birth rate problem by turning Japan into India. That's preposterous. That only would work in a computer simulation where you can just change the code and make a Japanese person. I've tried it. It can't be done. In my laboratory, okay, where Asmongold is right now, down in the basement, I have tried over 150 times to turn an Indian into a Japanese man. And the only thing I was able to accomplish was boiling them. All right? If you think, Elon, or Asmongold, if you're watching this, if you think you can turn an Indian person into a Japanese person by boiling them, not gonna happen, okay? Go down to my basement and talk to the 150 Indians that I already tried that on. Doesn't work. Nobody wants to solve the American birth rate problem. What's gonna happen? We're gonna run out of people. Oh, the stock prices are gonna go down. Oh, that's a problem for
the economy is just gonna take a shit, and then no one's gonna buy anything, and there's gonna be less jobs, and we're gonna go into a recession. Then GDP is gonna go down, the national trade's gonna go down, and then literally like every element of the economy is gonna get worse. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Cast to figure out. It's David Sachs. Sacks of what? Sacks of gold? Just start calling yourself David Sacks of Gold. What's the other guy? Jason Sacks? Asmongold? Asmongold. David Sacks should change his name to Asmongold. The branding is already set up for you. Asmongold wants to himself. You can replace his body and become the top streamer in America. I shouldn't say Asmongold wants to himself. I love Asmongold. That guy's classic. He's the ultimate. He's the best streamer. Is he good? I think he's good. I've never watched him. I just know his name is Asmongold. The only people who want to fix the American birth rate problem by turning
So he mocks once for playing game. The bubble stutters his way through thoughts he's too afraid to say unironically. It's like incredibly obnoxious. Someone this self-important is an actual pussy.
People are not interchangeable.
Well, it's because you just give the message to the people who like want the message, and then the people who don't want the message or like aren't gonna pay attention enough or just be like, he's just joking. So it's like perfect. It's like it's literally like the perfect way to communicate your message if you know most people are gonna be like, I don't like this.
More than that, then that's just an extension of antinatalism. That's just nihilism. That's just people don't matter. Neil deGrasse Tyson, the universe doesn't care. Shit. The universe cares. That's why we're here. It's understandable why a computer guy, why an engineer would think that or would want to think that, because it would make solving problems so much easier.
I also just, nobody's using H-1B visas are for like work. I just don't like, whatever.
We have hardwired group preferences, we have genetic memory, we have culture. This is not learned stuff. It's so deeply embedded in us that it carries on for thousands of years. Thinking of people as interchangeable units, while it would be useful in a simulation or in an economic theorem, it strips them of their humanity. And by the way, it's one of the first steps towards any authoritarian dictatorship type system. It's one of the first steps towards Marxism, is thinking of people as just labor. It's a very gross, anti-human thing to think.
I'm gonna look it up just real quick, just to like make sure. Employers employ foreign workers. It's the lot. Yeah, it's just for people. Like, what the fuck? It's just so you work. Like, your H-1B visa can expire. Whatever. Sam looks like he frequents gas station presents. I bet he's clenching his fist in it the whole time because there's a minority. State duration is typically 6 years, and the American competitive creating exceptions to maximize length to stay in certain circumstances. Annual cap and exemptions. Establish 65,000 foreign nationals. So only 65,000 people per year. In a country of like 300 million. Bro, us whites, we're under threat right now. That's crazy. Add an additional 20. So sorry, it's 85,000. And I know, and then the registration process and lottery. Because I know it's like, they separate it by country. It's like each country has like a limit. And even if there's no limit, then it's like, wow, 65,000 people a year, and then they leave in 6 years? Dude, the white race is under siege by 65,000 people who are going to work here. Mostly in tech.
Everybody is special. Everybody's special. Everybody's different and has their own thing. Retards know this. Geniuses understand that everybody is a unique product by and for their zeitgeist, or Zeitgeist if you want to go with the moist critical pronunciation. Everybody is uniquely a product of their time and location.
I wonder how much hate Moist Critical is going to get. Like, how many weird comments you're going to get.
In space and time. The smart people know this. The stupid people know this. It's people in the middle with 110 IQ, which is the worst IQ to have, who think that people can just be pushed around and moved around and changed. They can't.
He did the meme. He did the IQ meme.
hate towards Hispanics, okay? But that's why the room that I'm sitting in is covered in dust.
I generally feel like he's on coke. No, I don't think he does any drugs. I think he's just a weirdo.
Used Hispanic labor. I didn't know. They laid down masonry cement. When I said I wanted polished concrete floors, masonry cement, you can't polish it. They left board marks and footprints in it. And I had to pay another crew of black people, okay, shout out to Greg, to come in here with jackhammers and get this shit dumpstered out of here. I went and hired my own blacks. I went in the ghetto and hired them by hand. That's how you need to hire blacks for SpaceX. And what you get is you get lower quality construction. You get lower wages for the blue collar workers who are here and fighting. You realize that people are fucking up against the wall.
Again, this
fighting.
In the context of H-1B visas, this just doesn't make sense. H-1B visas is for like it's like almost all tech. Like no blue collar worker is losing their job to an H-1B visa. Like what the fuck?
To make ends meet. Do you understand that the American people are on the ropes right now? Your people and not the world, okay? It's the American people. That's where this shit is popping off. That's where you came to do business. The American people are your problem now, to the extent that you want people to pay attention to your opinion.
He's talking about black people.
And by people, I mean actual people, not Patrick Bet-David, not Ian Miles Chong,
Look,
Scott Adams.
He can't hate black people right now. He needs to hate Indians and Mexicans. He can move on later.
Not these fucking faggots that
He's
are
not talking about H-1B
sucking...
visas. No, he's talking about harming the American worker because he was like, the Mexicans that I hired did it bad and they're illegals. Get them out. But the legal people came in and they did it properly. So get rid of the illegals. And then also no H-1B visas because that hurts the working man too.
Ask because you have money and because you made an electric car. But to the extent that you want that, you have to protect the American people. You're all about being pro-natalism and increasing the birth rate. Why is the average dude
did it bad? No, he said the fucking Mexicans did it bad and they hired black people.
Have kids when he can barely afford to live by himself and eat
Domino's. This is a weird conversation.
Why isn't China importing infinity Indians right now? If it's such a huge economic advantage, why isn't China doing it? We need to do a naval blockade of China to make sure they don't get any of these amazing Indians. Every Indian that makes his way into China is a threat because China will use their genius to get one over on us. That's the biggest threat this country's facing right now. I think we need to go nuclear. I think we need to say, if China imports enough Indians, it's like diamonds. It's like nanotechnology. Indians are like nanotechnology.
Already famished.
We have to be willing to use nuclear weapons.
Well, and like... Yeah, well, and nobody wants to move to China. Like, everyone wants to move, literally, like, everyone wants to move here. Nobody wants to move to fucking China. I bet you could if you were, like, so inclined. But I also bet their system's, like, not, even though our system sucks, it's probably better than China's, because China's whole thing is fucked.
Just Indians. That's step one. Sounds retarded, right? Because it is. It's retarded. It's subtarded. Ever hear of a subtard? By the way, Moist Critical coined that term, subtard. Competing with China in what sense?
Fucking Moist Critical,
GDP?
Bro.
Making a number go up? Having software companies that are valued more highly? Competing with China in what sense? And at what cost? If the cost is making America look like Calcutta, that's not worth it. That's not a price that we're willing to pay.
He just doesn't want America to look like India, bro.
Videos of drones shaped like a dragon. And correct me if I'm wrong, that's something that a bright high schooler could do on a smaller scale, is it not? Making drones move around in 3D space. How is that an impressive problem to anybody except boneheads who are mystified by drones in the first place? Look at this aerial drone display. It's a ballet of killer drones. How can we compete with that? That's what drones do. They move around in coordinate space. Who gives a fuck? Well, it's the low-hanging fruit of robotics that mystifies people. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Didn't we have more impressive shit in the 80s? Isn't this more impressive?
One. Cover. With no pilot to compromise performance, even more unusual craft and propulsion systems have been designed and tested.
Oh my God.
Why do we need to compete with them? Can't we just kick their spies out and tell them to fuck off? When do I get some?
Because we need to be the GOAT. All right, now this is a cowardly take. You got to compete with everyone so you can be the fucking GOAT and you can rule the world. Fuck you, loser. That's why we want to compete with
I'm
them.
not a big enough media.
I want to compete with them so we can fucking dig their fucking authoritarian head and fucking put it in the toilet.
Here, the CCP, is it the CCP?
We've
Chinese Communist
devolved
Party?
technologically. No, he's saying that like China's drones are not that impressive, and he's like, why are we even competing with China, bro? Why do we even need to make our GDP go up? Why bother competing with them? They're fucking losers, bro. They just make drones move around. Ugh.
Why aren't they sending these hot spies to fuck with me? Suck my dick for blackmail. When's that gonna happen? China, I'm waiting, okay? I have 300,000 YouTube subscribers, or 250,000 probably. 200,000? How much on Hyde Wars? If you have over 100,000 Twitter followers, you should demand that a hot Chinese spy comes and sucks your dick. Okay? You take a video. Whatever. Why is that? Am I not popular enough to get this fucking mingling? To get Bing Bing over here? Ah! A Tesla Model X and Bing Bing over here sucking me. That's my price, China. Send them over. Do we need to build giant cities that nobody lives in to compete? Do we need to turn our country into a surveillance state fucking nightmare to compete? Do we need to essentially have slave labor to compete? What type of competition are you talking about? And at what cost? Competing with China is competing with literal slave labor.
I don't even know what the point of that is. Like, yeah, okay. So that's like, if anything, that's more reason for us to win. So that way the people who have slaves look like shit.
That's impossible to compete with. It's not worth competing with.
What do you mean impossible? We're competing with it and winning.
The real sense of what matters in life thinks anything about competing with China. We've been hearing this for 30 fucking years. As long as China has been an industrial nation, there have been headlines, The Economist. I remember this in the dentist's office when I was a kid. China's looming on the horizon. We have to accept a lower quality of life immediately to compete with China. That's the thrust of every article. You, the American worker, you have to take less pay and accept more bullshit because there's a big boogeyman looming on the horizon. It's China for 30 years. Before that, it was Japan. It's constant. It's to keep wages suppressed. It's to make you shut up. Elon doubles down in this tweet, offering a false dichotomy. Either we have to have more legal immigration, or you, the person disagreeing with it, you want America to fail for your own personal gain. What personal gain are you talking about? You want America to fail for your own personal gain. What is Elon? What are you talking about? How does anybody personally gain from this? The only gain happening is in stock prices of tech companies. That's the gain.
But then who cares? So then what are they losing? If they didn't lose, like if they lost something, they would have gained something by not having them in there. So if nobody's losing anything and we're only gaining, then just let the fucking Indians in, bro. Or just he's just racist, so it's fine.
Cui bono. That's who stands to benefit from this arrangement. This tweet, it's not first principles thinking. It's not in good faith dialogue. This is a dishonest mischaracterization. Nobody's calling you a liar. People say things in the heat of the moment that are dishonest, though. This is a dishonest mischaracterization of the tens of thousands of people who are blowing up your website. This is not an own on Elon. This is not dunking on Elon. I know that you can bring the ban hammer down, and I know that you are going to be tempted to do so, that you already have with the Groypers, which, by the way, you have to undo that, man. You blanket banned people, not for saying nigger, not for posting swastikas.
You gotta bring back the people who deny the Holocaust, bro. You gotta bring them back. They're good kids. They're just hanging out, having a grand old time.
But for stating their opinion on this H-1B issue, that is a complete violation of the trust that the people you wanted to like you placed in you when you said that you're for free speech. It's straight George W. Bush. You're either with us or you're with the terrorists. That's what this is. You're either agreeing with me or you're fucking an enemy. You're an enemy. It's not an argument.
You change identity. It's just a sinking ship.
It's just
well as two poisons into mainstream. Yeah, but he has enough. Like you don't. He provide. Like you don't. You just got to find a niche. His niche is like like mega alt-right, like Nazi and Nazi adjacent, and those people have nowhere else to go. So he's already got like fucking how many of them watch his stream? Like 3,000 of them, 3,000 people. And there's got to be a handful of rich Nazis just to keep him afloat. Like if you just got 3,000 people watching you on Rumble, throwing fucking money at you, you know, like he's gonna be able to chill. Hopefully not hopefully. Fuck, you know, Nick Fuentes and all that shit. But like, if he's smart, he probably has like a decent amount of money just put to the side back when he was like super fucking famous.
My way or the highway. Is that what free speech is? Is that who you are? You can just be a celebrity. You can be like Ellen DeGeneres. You can be like The Rock. And you can get Ozempic, you can get breast implants, start going on...
Nick is blocked. That is so fucking funny.
The View, whatever you want for popularity. You can do that, of course. But to the extent that you have popularity...
I'm saying allow it. Why is it not?
Misplaced.
Oh, my fucking Lord. Why is it being held? Allow it, my guy. Yes, please allow. Thank you. Remove the block term Nick. Yes. We don't need to block the word Nick.
And
Thank you.
Because you're rich.
Jesus
what does
Christ.
winning actually mean? Healthy, functioning societies, they need more than gadgets. They need more than Marvel, more than Goy slop. They need a shared ideology, heritage, history, beliefs and values, religion.
And then immediately got fucked by tying himself to Kanye. He's done. He'll never reach those heights again. Yeah, but again, it's like he's like he has his niche, and I don't think it's dying until some other right wing guy like takes over Nick Fuentes. He just might as well stick around. Rake in those Nazi bucks.
Babel, that's Rome, that's every empire that's been crushed because there wasn't social cohesion. Basic bitch libertarian principles aren't enough. Maybe they're enough to get VC funding, maybe they're enough to create an interesting exercise of some sort, but they're not enough to hold people together. And again, we're back to the idea of people as a collection of economic units. That's what at the foundation of Marxism, that reality is just math, and thus the justification
not really.
For a lot.
It's not really true. It's not really how that works. It's not. But hey, you know, man, I know some theory. Thinking people in mostly economic terms is like kind of what they do, but not really. He's missing out like historical materialism and like Hegelian socialization and other shit, and like class consciousness and whatever the fuck. So, not really, but okay. Whatever,
Marxism
man.
Is also what leads
whatever. It's in
Silicon
America
Valley
at inception. There is
libertarian
no
type people
definitive American identity. Besides, we just love this country.
To quantify the unquantifiable. Mount Rushmore, the space program, the interstate system, motion pictures, electricity. These are all things that are not quantifiable. So they're quantifiable in the sense that you can look back and you can say that they cost X amount of dollars, or that a certain amount of concrete and steel was used in their construction.
So they are quantifiable. Interesting. Big thing.
These dream projects are unquantifiable things. There's no slider in the program where you can crank up the number of Indians to 200 million and bring the American dream to fruition faster.
Yeah, which they're not going to. Don't worry, Hyde. They're only going to let in at most 65,000. You're good, bro. Don't worry. Relax.
No data entry point where you can bump up the Indians and get Chrysler buildings popping up everywhere, more Art Deco construction. We do not need more bloated code bases, more tech gadgets, more poorly run hotels, more work ethic, okay? What we need is leaders willing to fight for the American people, not for corporations, not for the idea of America, but for the American people. That is the only thing that we need on the brink of collapse.
It doesn't even mean anything. That means nothing. Like, what?
Crumbling. It needs to be something.
This is what I mean. Yeah,
it
just means nothing. There's nothing. It's just hollow.
If it's
and like for some reason it also means that if you like you want to like grow the economy, that also means you're like growing the economy is not inherent. Like, that's not what the American people's about. It's like, even though it's like, bro, if one of the problems is jobs, then growing the economy would like definitionally fix your problem, because growing the economy grows jobs, and then the people who are like, I have no jobs, I'm being replaced, can go get a job. Like, what the fuck?
Just that, then it's just
retarded.
noise.
It means you need less
reality.
Indians, yes, and
Reality
Mexicans.
is the hundreds of thousands of kids who are graduating with massive college debt, hundreds of job applications. They're being looked over for people who are not us. That's not a meritocracy. That's not some idealistic, high-minded
Again,
thing.
he's just like, do people just must not know like how many H-1B visas are actually given? Because even if 100% went to India, that's still like 85,000 in a population of 3 fucking million. Like, you're not losing your job to an Indian, bro. It's just not happening.
It's just money. Apple and Google might win, but America will be worse. The soil that all this winning flourishes out of is salted. And that means that the next Apple, the next Google will be Chinese. Potentially the next SpaceX will be Chinese. Wouldn't that be strange? Wouldn't that be interesting if China makes it to Mars first? It would be great for humanity. Why don't we do it? Let's do it. China makes it to Mars before America. Does that sound like fun? It's just humans. They're just interchangeable economic units. Why wouldn't we want that? I think we do it. It sounds good to me. How do we define winning?
Yeah.
I just won. That was Asmongold that I spit on. I killed him. I'm not dissing Asmongold. I'm just playing around. I spit on Moist Critical. I'll spit on his face. Fucking guy. No, we love Moist. We have a deal with Moist right now. It's for nicotine pouches. These are Moist's nicotine pouches. I call them Moist. Did you know Moist is a Yiddish word? I didn't know Moist Critical is actually Jewish. Did you know that? I didn't. Crazy fact. Winning.
Wild, bro.
Is winning making it so that tech companies have even higher valuations? Is that winning? It's the valuation of Netflix. I figured it out. That's why we're not winning, is because Netflix stock isn't high enough. That's the only way to
Mars
win.
is dumb and pointless mission. The SR admitted their dedication to the moon is what caused a lot of financial burden. And it didn't cause a lot of financial burden for us because we're just built fucking different. We're goated, man.
Kill my neighbors and burn
We're
them
gods.
alive and blow up my car, but it's okay because Netflix is worth $3 trillion. I want to cut my cock off and scramble my brain with fucking fluoride. I'm gonna win because Netflix.
Fluoride. Fucking stupid. Retarded.
Netflix is worth $3 trillion. I can't believe the dollars are this.
I just don't. How can you be like so retarded that you don't actually like you don't think growing the economy is good? I just don't. I don't get it. I feel like I'm repeating myself. Like, and he's, to be fair, he's just repeating himself. He's just like, we just only care. They only care about the business. They don't care about white. I mean, the American people. Even though, but it's like you need to grow the economy, and then also obviously Indians aren't taking your fucking job. Like, that's just not. That's just fake. Especially not blue collar work. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
I can't believe we're winning this much. The dollars are this high. We have such good drones and spying technology. We're winning. That's the most retarded thing I've ever heard. At least leftoid medicine vaccine brain is. Bleep that out, please. I said people. At least people whose blood has been replaced with vaccines and are so far on the left they salute Mickey Mouse. They think that they're helping people. If winning is just drones doing an aerial display while a robot jerks me off to sample my DNA,
This world
then
share
everything
cry
is lost.
about this shitty life
Yeah, I killed a
is
homeless
so
person.
goddamn
Chris, did you
cringe.
know that?
Especially Sam
It was
Hyde,
free
who's like
speech.
pretty
I
fucking
said,
successful.
you fucking dirty ass bum ruining my street. I'll kill you. And then I used a speech gun to shoot a speech bullet into his speech head. I ripped an NFL cheerleader team. The guys too. I used free speech on them. Do they have male cheerleaders in the NFL? National Flag League. Look it up, please. Does the NFL have male cheerleaders? That is awesome if that's true.
I like the base.
A third of the league's male cheerleaders. America is the greatest country on earth. Here's your male cheerleaders. Is everybody on fentanyl? Everybody working at D'Angelo's? Everybody working at the mall? They're all retards? Everybody who's had their lives destroyed by Big Pharma?
Yeah, I
the
just...
grist mill of
And he's like talking about
inflation.
anti-vax, getting mad over male cheerleaders. I know, it's just like who cares? Irrelevant.
Taxation.
But people think it's relevant. That's what's so crazy. As I just sit here and I listen, I'm like, this is boring. Like, this is all irrelevant. And then the shit about working in Indians is like just wrong. So who fucking cares? But then you have other people who are like, bro, they're like, Sneeko's gonna watch this and he's gonna be like, Sam Hyde, telling it like it is, bro. These fucking male cheerleaders and these fucking Indians. Oh my God.
That's been betrayed by their leadership in this country. Are they all retards? Is everybody who's got, and this is a lot of people, who has $400 in their bank account and is getting hit with overdraft fees and has the landlord from hell, are they all retards?
I mean,
You work in a sub sandwich.
if they want to stop Indians from working in tech, an industry they don't work in, yes, they're retarded and they should feel bad. That's a fucking stupid ass opinion to have, bro. Bro, I work construction, but these Indians, bro, they're taking jobs at Google.
All retards, then you have no place.
Yeah, if you're getting mad about that, you are retarded. You're a retarded
The
person.
future of this country. You are just a computer guy. And I don't think you really believe that. I hope to God that you don't.
This
But if that's
is
really
drama.
what you
Sam's not
believe,
give a fuck
then you're
about
not
low-income
believing.
Americans.
I
I mean,
could
maybe
say
he,
fuck you,
maybe
I
he
could
like
say,
feel he
"Take a step
does.
back and
But
fuck
if he
up."
did, then he wouldn't be like, bro, the economy is cringe. We don't need to care about that. We need to like, what we need is like FDR, where people just like dug a hole and filled it back in. So we had full-time employment, bro.
Don't face.
That's what we need. That's to help the blue-collar worker. We're gonna make sure they dig holes and fill them back up. And we'll pay them fucking 40 grand a year for that, and we'll save America.
But I'll say this.
And there'll be no fucking Indians.
If you really believe that the American people are retards, which they are, we got male cheerleaders in the NFL, but if you really do not have in your heart grace and respect for the Homer Simpson, vinyl siding, economy shitbox driving retards who make your dream possible, if you have a heart, if you are a human being, then that will sting harder than telling you to go fuck yourself. You can do the go fuck yourself all day. I tell myself to go fuck myself. You can say that all day. Fuck you. Fuck you. I say that in the mirror when I wake up and when I put makeup on. Who gives a fuck? If you believe these people are retards and you don't have any goodwill towards them, then you're not a leader. You're just a nerd. And there's plenty of those. There's plenty of nerds who got lucky. I bought Bitcoin, Magic the Gathering online exchange. I got lucky. There's no shortage of nerds who got lucky. There's this disturbing idea from the BoomerCon right that America is just a collection of ideas and you bring everybody in the world, the teeming
But
masses.
really, America's a collection of people with a certain level of melanin. And they make up the body, the whole. And we need to expel, we need to clean, to purge
who are desperate
the American
for a
body.
half gallon of milk. You bring them here and all of a
Chilling out of the
sudden
world's
they're
richest man by
in,
being lucky.
like
Well, I
lightning
mean,
with this
you
idea.
on a certain level you do. Elon Musk was definitely like lucky, but yes, also it's like if he never made PayPal, right? Like at some point he voluntarily decided to make PayPal and just so happened to make him $1 billion. But yes, I guess whatever. Don't what?
Idea that makes them able to make this country stronger. This country's never been weaker, and it's never been more.
We had a civil war
open
once, you fucking
to
retard.
foreigners who
Don't do
are
lefty
us.
take.
These two things.
What's a left, bro? That's not a lefty take. There's no lefty take. That's like a normal person take. A normal person, like a lefty take, is it is all luck, bro. Elon Musk, he's has 6 baby mamas, and his dad owns a fucking diamond mine, right? That's the lefty take. That take is retarded. I would agree. Okay, that's a retarded take. The enlightened centrist take is the correct take on rich people. That it's like obviously, clearly, large amount of like luck was involved, like right place, right time, that you like had no clue you were in the right place in the right time. You just were, and like bam, now you're worth fucking $100 million, right? There's that. Blah blah blah. Anyway, happy New Year's in advance. Happy New Year's, Bruner. Right? There's that, which is luck. But then it's also like, well, you had to do shit to like be in the right place at the right time. So it's like, I synthesized, bro. I just used you know, Hegelian dialectics. We just did that. We had the thesis, rich people aren't lucky. Antithesis, rich people are lucky. We just synthesized, bro. We just did a historical materialism. That's crazy.
Unrelated. They're directly related. Would Ben Shapiro say the same thing about Israel? Israel's just a collection of ideas. Would Vivek say the same thing about India? India is just a collection of ideas, really good ideas. That's why they're doing so good. Grope women on the train. That's not a glib remark, by the way. I make a lot of jokes about Indians in my stand-up act. I had an Indian woman come up to me after a show.
I forgot. Sam Hyde does fucking stand-up? That's crazy.
My ass ear-beating Indian style for the jokes that I made. She said to me, "Thank you for saying that. I went there with my 13-year-old sister, and they pulled her pants down on the train." Is that an Indian idea? When we bring them over, does that idea suddenly vanish and they get
your mouth plus my cock equal cum, bro? This guy's a historical materialist base.
Don't view America as a collection.
Bro, he understands the dialectic, bro. He understands, dude. You just got invited to every leftist Twitter space. Congratulations. You know, here's your fucking hammer and sickle, and your Karl Marx bust. Be prepared to fight for the cause.
It's not an economic zone. I hate how there's this argument against Americans asking them what they built. If you're so great, what did you build? What did you build? Nothing significant that gets built gets built on an individualistic scale. The greatest things that humans have built, cathedrals, which if you disagree.
It's such a like right-wing boomer take to be like, the cathedrals, that's the best thing we built. I mean, look, cathedrals are pretty. I would say that what's the best thing we've built? Probably the thing that's like most impressive to me is probably landing on the moon. That's probably like the most impressive thing we've ever done. I also like it because it just means you can be like, every time someone's like, well, the USSR was like won everything in the space race except for landing on the moon. I'm like, bro, oh, sorry, bro. We weren't in first place for most of the race, but then we crossed the finish line first. My bad. Sorry, bro. We still win. It makes me happy.
It's just
never built anything. No, he's just being retarded.
I mean,
he's saying it, but look, it's obvious that like building something great is not like one individual guy, but also like without Elon Musk, you don't have Tesla. So it's kind of like, yes, true, but also
computers are pretty up there, but cathedrals are a good example.
Like you didn't smell steel with Jesus.
Hundreds of years. They're built not just by the army of stone masons who build them, but by the towns who pay for it. They are the cream sitting on top of the cake. The cake is the soil. The cake is the vinyl siding dumbasses who are your customers, who are the people who pay for this shit by putting their retirement accounts in Vanguard mutual funds. They're the people who you owe a debt to, a debt for being able to do the stuff that
Sam
do.
Religious?
These
I have no
H-1B
idea.
Tech workers,
like
so many of them are just
probably like a little bit. I would guess a little bit, sure.
Apps that other people built. They're maintaining code bases for stuff that was built years ago. What are they making? Social media apps that collect all your data. They're making to-do apps, dating apps. Who fucking cares, man? What did they build? Mobile phone games? It's just stuff that feeds more into consumerism. It's not actually making life better for anybody. But the sentiment that Americans aren't good enough, that's one of the darker things that has happened here. I know that Vivek Ramaswamy does believe it to be the case, and for him, this Twitter bomb was a mask off moment in a way
Ben
that I
hates
hope it wasn't for
commies.
you.
I don't
But
know,
that
bro. He's
sentiment and
the secret third path. He's the secret sneaky third option, my guy. You know, the third way. Well, you're not a communist or a capitalist, you know? You just want to like centralize some stuff for the working man, but like not in a communist way. I don't know what it's called, but
Twitter deboosting, algorithm change, blanket ban, all that stuff. Those are the darker things in the sense of not good for humanity, not good for the future. Running Twitter the same way your enemies did before you bought it from them. Is that what you wanted when you bought this thing? Is that the let it sink in moment? Is that what you envisioned for the global meeting grounds? And we're not talking about just making the 10% of people on the left and the 10% of people on the right mad. The middle is the Overton window. You're just talking about satisfying the Overton window. This is censorship. You're engaging in censorship pretty much right off the rip here. You just bought Twitter. You just got in with Trump. You just became a Republican. You just courted the MAGA base. That's a pretty big betrayal of the role that you have stepped in to fill, whether or not it's even true, okay? I couldn't work at SpaceX. I don't have a delusion about that. It doesn't matter because you are in charge of American companies. You are an American leader. So what matters is that that's the sentiment people are walking away with after your tweet storm. It's not helped by these Patrick Bet-David, wolf in sheep's clothing, cocksucker podcaster guys who are just up your ass because they have money. The extent to which you deserve to be a king, more importantly, or equally importantly, how posterity will look upon your works is directly related to your attitude.
Trump and Elon support
benevolence
censorship. This really came out of nowhere. Trump never said he
The Cybertruck's cool, but if America...
Bro, Trump never threatened to prosecute his political opponents on the campaign trail. He never did that. Are you crazy? What, are you crazy? What?
crumbles.
What, are you crazy, dude? He never did that. He never did that multiple times. He definitely didn't go on like Glenn Beck's podcast, and then when he was asked by Glenn Beck, like, what are we gonna do? And he responded like this: look, they're doing it to us. We have to prosecute them. What?
Because we've taken on too many
Trump didn't
outsiders
just sue ABC for
who don't give a
defamation.
shit about the country.
Nah, bro, Trump would
then
never.
The Cybertruck will be a footnote.
That's crazy.
In Wikipedia, it'll be the DeLorean. It'll be something interesting.
Okay,
People
to be
look
fair, the Cybertruck is probably just going to be an interesting footnote because apparently, like, kind of, I don't know. People keep telling me it sucks.
back. Oh, that was
People keep
kinda
telling me
cool.
it's like not very
You know
good.
why they won't be driving it? Because they'll be driving a Neo, and China will be the first to Mars. This isn't fixed by moving the goalposts of what an American is. It would be a lot easier if an American was just an Indian with an Ivy League degree. It would make this whole problem go away instantly if that worked. If you could just wave your hand and say that an American is a Guatemalan who was born here, that's an American. We wouldn't have to have this painful conversation. It would be so easy if you could do that, if it were a computer simulation. That's Marvel movie
Elon's
shit.
work as a
An
footnote saying
American
contribution
whoever
is left in a
Doctor
rough draft
Strange
dog.
brings through the portal to
And
beat
making a
Thanos.
final testing of
The new
history, telling of
Spider-Man is an
history.
American. It's a lesbian from Sri Lanka who just came here to start up a cupcake business. But she listens to Cold Wave. And she just came here to start up her hair dye business. She's an American. She's here for the American dream. That's not reality. That's math. That's Marxism. That's computer programmer, simulation, bullshit. We all know what.
Oh, it's the programming communists. They're just looking at you like a number, bro, and they're bringing in all the Indians.
An American is.
And also, don't be
all
like
these
Ben Shapiro. Ben
paragraph-long
Shapiro is the only
definitions.
right winger. Ben Shapiro and Vivek Ramaswamy, or whatever his name is, you know, Indians who I made it clear that I hate, and Jews who I may or may not hate. I'm only going to mention one. The only other guy we're mentioning who's not Indian is a Jew, and I hate him. Don't be like him. Also,
I know
unban the
what it is.
Groypers, please and
It's
thank
just
you.
propaganda. We know what an American is.
I don't.
And if you're not here
I
to
don't
help
know.
the
It doesn't
American
make
people,
sense. His
then
position's
your
retarded.
usefulness
He
to
wants
us
he
is-
wants to like help the working class, but then ignore helping the economy. And then he's mad at H-1B visas, which are like mostly just fucking like tech bro Indians, and then somehow this hurts blue collars. Like like it just does. It's irrelevant. It's just fucking retarded.
Over with.
Let's play Marvel Rivals. Why would we play Marvel Rivals? Marvel Rivals dog shit.
Etc. They are.
I want to hop on
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Shit posters, and they have acerbic ideas, and they're also the most forgiving people. They're the most forgiving people. Anytime anybody does anything remotely based, they are absorbed by the right. Anna Kasparian talking about not feeling safe in her neighborhood. That's based, man. Anna Kasparian was red-pilled this whole time? I can't believe it. Damn. People, broadly speaking, do not expect you to be full-on 1950s racist Hank Hill, get him out.
You mentioned Anna. That is pretty funny.
That's not what they're looking for, okay? They're fine with the Silicon Valley tech version, the occasionally based, occasionally Neil deGrasse Tyson soy face. They love that Elon. It's this idea that Americans aren't good enough, this misunderstanding of what America is. You're just as bad as the people you bought the website from, if this continues to be the case. Are you able to listen to valid criticism? It's not from Russian bots. It's not a coordinated attack on you. It's tens of thousands of people pissed off because they think you betrayed them. I hope to God you're a leader. And the rest of you can keep watching this right now. Check it out. asmongold.com/ what's the guy's name? Moist Critical. That's the website. asmongold.com/ Moist Critical. You can now, if you're not Elon, you can jump over to the regular video and start watching. What I actually believe, I think that the U.S. economy is grinding to a halt, and that the tech bros and investors, it's like someone tweeted about this, the bubble in the Japanese economy, where Japan was faced with the decision to either start importing people or get ready for a long winter. I saw that tweet and that immediately rang true. I think that these investor bros are counting on AI to offset the loss in productivity of this dying empire. It's slowly being realized that AI is, for all intents and purposes, a glorified spell checker. I use AI all the time. I'm a pro.
What is this video? This is Sam Hyde made a video to Elon Musk, bro.
And
dude got triggered by a tweet, bro. Mean tweets are very upsetting. Don't hate,
search
bro.
engine, and it's about as good as searching
out a race way, bro. He was always racist. It was all there. Sam Hyde again. He's like a comedian, right wing dude.
It's extra dimensional autocomplete. The words
he made that show on Adult Swim,
and tone,
like $1 Million Extreme, that got shut down after like one episode.
Vectors, and what you get at the end of it is an article that can almost fool a computer into thinking it was written by a human. I think there's a game of musical chairs going on with money, and people are desperate for a way to keep that game of musical chairs going, even if it means fucking us over. The idea that these tech guys want to bring in exceptional people is just not true. They're looking to hire basically slaves.
Bro, I can't be mad at that. I love hearing myself speak. That's why I've been streaming for so long, because me talking is a wonderful thing.
They'll work 80 hours a week, which is bullshit. Nobody works 80 hours a week. They work 20 hours a week of actual work, and the rest of the time is spent fucking around on the phone and showing the boss that they're working 80 hours a week.
Muted.
In the office. They're not actually
He's
working
dead. I'm not. Fuck you.
And furthermore, why should anybody have to work 80 hours a week? Why is this a race to create slaves? Why is that a good thing? Why is that a humane thing? Why is that good for humanity? How is it possible, if you're a Democrat or a Republican, if you're left or right, why is it a good thing to want slaves?
He's cynical in such a sophomoric way. It just makes it obvious his contentions are hollow.
They'll sleep. They'll work 200 hours a week. They'll work.
No, I think he's just racist, and then he's just working backward. Like, people just usually have an opinion and then just work backwards towards the thing. He's just racist, and then he's like, he saw H1B1. He like didn't like Indians, and he saw visas, and then he's like, fucking, we gotta get rid of these visas. They're stealing from the American worker. And in reality, he's just like, I just don't want Indians.
They'll have
Fuck
no
them.
lives. That's not a good thing. If you want more hours out of somebody, you have to pay them more. It's just money. They'll do it for $20,000. That's what they're saying. They're pretending like they're complimenting their diligence and their work ethic. What they're really saying is, we can hire them for cheaper. That's what that means. 80 hours a week, or pay them 100,000 more a year.
That different from what I said? Yeah, he just said he's cynical.
Just saying you can pay.
And then I said like maybe, but like I just don't think I don't know. I feel like you're just saying he's just complaining to complain. I'm like, like he probably like does in fact believe all of this and like think it's profound.
Instead of 250,000. It's just money. Any system that gets set up is going to be gamed. This one is gamed by Indians who are master gamers. Pull up the Cognizant article. This is a company that was found guilty of setting a pattern and practice of discrimination against non-South Asian.
I restate in a little brain way. Oh, thanks, bro. I am retarded.
Of the program, the intention of the program is to create a meritocracy, but like Thomas Sowell said, you have to judge things on their outcomes, not their intentions. You could make a law called the Everybody Good, Free Money, Everything Good law, but if the end result is that quality of life goes to shit,
alone in an empty warehouse with a chair, I don't know. It's a meme. So it's to be ironic for memes.
Stuff. You can't
think
judge
he is.
it
Just think
on
what
the
the fuck?
floral, high-minded, beautiful, humanistic language that's used to sell it. That's just propaganda. You have to judge it on the end result. Here's another one. Hire workers at a fraction of the cost of American workers. Force them to work longer hours because they won't leave their job, because if they quit, they're gone from America. This is not helped by a government oversight committee.
Interesting way that's so mature. It makes me think all his reasoning seems fruitless.
It gets gamed. That's how people work. They're looking for the path of least resistance. They're looking to maximize their benefit from the system.
What do you even mean seems fruitless? I don't even know what is that even supposed to imply?
Claims they discriminated against American workers in favor of foreign workers. Apple paid $25 million to the deal, which is like $25 to a regular person. Apple engaged in a pattern of citizenship status discrimination in recruitment.
So I don't understand. I get like, oh well, they did do it, but then they got sued, and so now we've corrected the behavior. I hate this. I hate when people like just post the like the loss, like, oh well, there was a lawsuit about it. Oh, so there's a lawsuit, and so they got sued, and now the behavior's fixed. That is correct. Oh, so there's not the problem's gone now. Thank you. Awesome. Thank God I live in like such a great legal system that stops people from discriminating. Kick ass.
The claim that we can't find talented people here is nonsense. It's dishonest. The claim should be that we can't afford to pay talented people enough, or we don't want to. Sorry for getting overly serious here with you. At the end of the day, I think you should buy Bitcoin.
I have a solid reason for cynical thoughts. Yes, because like I said, he just has a fundamentally like irrational belief of like Indians bad or whatever. Like Americans, whatever that fucking means, good. Indians bad. So like everything's just gonna result. No matter what you do, it's all gonna funnel into Indians bad.
People or people in a leadership position, you get emotional when their every worldview doesn't line up with yours. You know, Trump's not based enough, or Joe Rogan's too whatever. But these are the men who define our times, and I think it's important you allow them to be flawed people to some extent, but also to push back when they go nuts. But in this case, I think that.
Saying different things. I just said it in an academic way because I'm smart. No, you just said it in an unclear way. At no point, yeah, fuck you, bro. Like I said, bro, if I see you at TwitchCon ever, it's hands immediately, bro.
He put it all on the line to become the free speech guy and to turn Twitter into the global discussion space of the world. And you don't accidentally become adored by people. He can't just say, oh, I was just building a business and then I was saying stuff online and then I guess people looked up to me. No. There are plenty of quiet billionaires. There are plenty of quiet money makers, inventors. There are plenty of quiet engineers. There are plenty of people who aren't going to the Met Gala in the Satan costume. Okay? There are plenty of people like that. You don't
me with a spaceman looking at Earth with one shooting in the back of the head. It's not about free speech. Never was.
You don't accidentally become the hope of a generation. You don't. So if he wants that, I think he can have it, and I think he deserves a shot at course correction. He's been under attack by everybody for his whole entire career. So I think he deserves that shot. If he fumbles this, then that's his legacy. I don't have any sort of committed opinion as to what's going to happen from here. I'm mostly concerned with Asmongold, as we said. Moist Critical, what games are they playing? Tall Guy, what was that game we played? Tall Man Run, that's what I'll be doing tonight. A little bit of Raid Shadow Legends, is that the game? Last War Survivor, big into that these days. I'm mostly doing that. I'm Elon's #1 ranked Diablo 4, huge achievement. I'm #1 ranked Raid Shadow Legends. Raid what? Last Survivor? I'm #1 on that.
This
Last
is
Survivor.
cringe
Check
too.
me out on the boards there, guys,
This
right?
was very funny,
Boom.
bro.
Peace.
Bro, what happens if you call the number? Hey guys, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And make sure you follow my Twitch account so that we can tune in live next time. Thank you.